Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
How are you, mate?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I shaved off my shaggy pelt for the summer months.
You also shaved off about 10 years, man. You look like you're 15. What the hell?
I know. I have like a spherical head. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Kind of like,
you look like you're... Seriously, you look like you're 10 years younger, which
Oh.
pisses me off because you already look younger.
well, you know, I'm gonna take that and run with it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we had a weekend full of gigs through the hurricane, didn't we?
Yes, the hurricane, doing the air quotes for those just listening, because it was not much of anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was, I don't know. I think we had quite a lot of fun, though. There was the Sunday gig. There was tons of people there, wasn't there?
There were tons of people. There was tons of people Sunday. There was tons of people Saturday, too, at DOS. And, Abacoa. That was a fun gig. And Patty King showed up and crashed the party and played with us for the last set, and it was amazing, man. That was fun.
Have to
a lot of energy.
Playing with Patty is always just almost like an honor.
Well, there's so much energy when he plays, man. It's just fun. And then when he uses the wireless and he runs out into the crowd and stuff, and everybody's like, "Come here, I want to dance with you while you play."
Yeah, totally. He came on the podcast. If you are curious about Patty King, the Fiddle King, he came on with Mangrove Mark. So there's an episode a little bit back, isn't there? With him on it.
What's the? Is it?
I think they're called Mangrove Mark and the Fiddle King. I think we build it as String Assassins.
String Assassins. That's what it was.
Yeah. But I guess Matt Gill from String Assassins moved away. So we just had Mark and Patty come on, and because they do like a duo thing, don't they? Yeah.
But it was fun, man. Yeah, we played with him on Saturday, and then. Like you said, Sunday at Riverwalk and Stewart, we had a pretty good-sized crowd. It rained a little bit.
I know, and your
my amp blew up.
Yeah, well, your amp is
my amp, as in I was borrowing James's amp, and they blew up, and so that's the whole story there.
Yeah, it is really, but that was a bit of a shame. I think in future we're going to try and figure out some kind of. If it rains, we stop.
Rain clause, yeah. I mean, the good news is that we're here recording at Live Music Community, and there's plenty of gear around us. So when I leave, I'll just take an amp. So it's fine. It's fine. It'll work out fine. I'll leave the other one behind. No one will ever notice. They'll just think their amp broke. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're going to do another Give and Let Give soon, aren't we?
We are. July 10th, I believe. Yeah, I think it's July 10th.
Right.
Yeah, July 10th. So we have a ton of stuff out in the hallway here that we keep tripping over. So definitely we want to get a bunch of people out for that.
If you don't know anything about Give and Let Give, the whole idea of it is that kids can come, and if they need a piece of gear, they take that piece of gear. If you're an adult, you have to bring a piece of gear, and you can switch it out for another piece of gear.
Sure.
But if you're a kid and you're just trying to get started, and you don't have the thing you need, there's a high chance we will have it.
Yeah.
And we've already done 2, and they've been great successes. They've been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is for the adults, if you're bringing a piece of gear, you can either just donate the gear, which is ideal because then the kids can walk away with a cool piece of gear, or if there's something you need and we have it, you can trade for it, and it doesn't have to be a fair trade. I mean, you can trade us a pedal for an amp if that's what what needs to happen. But but in the spirit of the event, obviously the idea is to donate stuff so the kids have stuff to take, or trade down, if you will. Give us your old amp that you're not using and only take a patch cord or something.
Yeah.
So the kids have stuff to take.
Exactly. And it's been great, and it's so nice to see the smiles on the kids' faces when they get this awesome stuff.
Yeah. And we've given out, I mean, the last 2 events we've given out, guitars, entire drum sets, entire PA systems. I mean,
someone left with a Marshall stack, didn't they? One time?
These kids have gotten some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, like a full PA.
Yeah. So I mean, we're not talking, like a set of guitar strings here,
Yeah, no, absolutely. So if anyone wants to get involved with that, then head down to Live Music Community on July 10th.
Yeah, and that's that's Justin's brainchild, and then of course we jumped on board and help support that because it's an awesome event. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have Straight Jacket with us today. We have Matt and Joe and Andy from Straight Jacket. How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Good to be here, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
nice one
us.
for coming on. Andy and I play in a band together, so we're old buddies. So it's nice to see you.
But that's not a big claim to fame because Andy plays in every band in Palm Beach County. So,
yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, it'd be weird if you weren't in a band with you.
I mean, I'm not in a band with Andy. Now that's something to talk about.
You didn't tell me yet?
Oh, crap.
So let's get to it and start kind of finding out a little bit about you guys. So we start with this question, which is, how did you find yourself like playing music in the first place? Like, did you have supportive parents? How did you? What was your route into music? And we're going to start with Matt. You can tell us a little bit about how it all got started.
So for me, well, you know my sister-in-law, right?
Sure,
So
yeah.
My sister-in-law, who married my brother, which is obviously my brother, he was playing guitar a long time ago, and he kind of like drifted out of it a little bit, but I stayed on it because he was the one that taught me, and then from there I just kept singing, and guitar drifted away. Then I met Brett, and kind of went
cool.
from there.
Nice. Have you ever taken any lessons or anything like that?
Nah. I
just
did
done it all
like
yourself?
trumpet when I was in like middle school and stuff. Oh, I just bought a trumpet too, so I'm trying to get back on that.
Oh, nice. Were you in the band with the trumpet? Did you do anything like
a school band?
Yeah.
I was in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's honestly surprising how useful all of that kind of early experience can be. Honestly, it really helps you. Just plots out, a little bit of music theory and stuff like that. I think you don't really realize how much you learn from those early experiences. It's pretty important.
It gets your ears working.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The tones and stuff.
Totally. What about you, Joe? How did you come about playing music?
It's a school band. Started in middle school.
Nice.
I didn't know you were too, Matt. Yeah, middle school all through high school.
What were you playing in it?
Saxophone.
Oh,
Nice.
me too.
Alto sax.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you ever play the alto sax anymore?
No, like the last concert performance I did in high school as a senior is the last time I played that saxophone.
Right.
Yeah, I just put it in the case and switched to guitar.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So, how did you find yourself getting into guitar?
I mean, who doesn't want to be a rock star if they listen to music, right?
That's
You
a
know
fair
what I mean?
point. Yeah. Did you take lessons?
I was taking piano lessons, and like the deal I made with my parents is if I did 3 piano lessons, I could take 1 guitar lesson a month.
Okay.
I failed it all the time because I hated piano lessons. So
Right. Yeah.
I had a couple lessons, not many though. Most of it's self-taught. Besides the years of middle school and high school band.
Yeah.
I know, like through some of your other projects, that like the metal stuff and things, that you're pretty like amazing at guitar. So when it comes to developing those skills, what do you think was the most important kind of thing that you did to sort of really sort of push your guitar playing?
Just play with other people.
Yeah.
Play with other people and try and play with the bands you like play.
Yeah.
And
YouTube University.
yeah,
A lot of people.
that's pretty much it.
say
Or
that.
even just in the feel of it. You don't have to like note for note learn what another band's doing, but if you like the feel of something,
Yeah.
and you get in a room with other guys that like that same feel, it just gets easier to do.
Yeah, sure.
Did you ever do the marching band thing?
Yeah,
You did
that was
too?
high school band, man. That was what we did.
That's something that doesn't. I mean, it does exist in
knew
England, but it's not
didn't
like
know you did
a
either.
every high school type of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So that is why actually all of those third wave ska punk bands, the horn sections, just blew European ones away, because the horn sections were always amazing, because there's all these kids who were just very, very advanced at playing horns.
It's funny. We didn't have. I played saxophone, also alto sax, and then baritone sax actually, all the way up through high school as well. And we had school band, but we didn't have a marching band. It was a private school, and we didn't have a marching band. We had a good football team, but we didn't have a marching band.
Right.
But to your point, though, a lot of these kids, they get out of high school and they go off to college, and then some of these colleges have like these crazy, like award-winning marching bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where they get a lot of that
It's
stuff.
like trying to get a scholarship for football. to
Oh,
get into a
100%. Yeah,
marching
these
band.
band kids, it's
Wow.
ridiculous.
450 band kids at FSU
Yeah.
in
Wow.
a year, and
You see the ones that do the
300,000
forms.
trying to
Right.
get in that are from high school
They're
bands.
just as
That's right.
popular
Yeah.
as the football kids, man.
You have now become a little tiny fish in a gigantic pond. It does
Wow.
not matter what you did in high school.
Yeah.
My
All your
sax,
awards are nothing.
my sax
Yeah.
teacher was he was in the army, which has the way that they used to practice is kind of that level of, I guess, I don't know what the word is, determination. That's not the right word.
Discipline.
Discipline. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Where he would just, all day long he was practicing, and he was he was a great teacher. He was called Kevin Riley, and he used to stand next to me, right? And this was a long time ago, mine. But he used to stand next to me, and he'd be like, "If you mess that up again, I'm going to stamp on your foot." It was great. But he never actually did stamp on my foot, but the threat was there.
See, the story would have been way
Sounds like
better.
no name practice.
The story would have been way better if you told me he actually like broke your foot one day.
Look, rookie of the year situations, and then all of a sudden your fingers work.
He was so good though, and a great way for me to kind of get going on the sax. It was awesome.
Did you just say
Uh,
funky
um,
butt leather?
Yeah. So Joe, did your parents listen to music?
They did, but like my mom listened to. She was a big fan of Bonnie Raitt. Let's
Right,
put
yeah.
it that way. And my dad, if he was putting on music, it was Jimmy Buffett.
Okay, gotcha.
So I have like no music influence from my parents
Okay.
until I like hit my 30s and then found out that they have like Doors records and Jimmy.
They were
all the
like
cool music.
secretly getting
They just
high and
high,
listening
yeah,
to it when
yeah.
you weren't around.
Well, we can't let the boy know that, even though he's been doing music his whole life. let him still hold on to that Jimmy Buffett.
Oh man.
Jimmy
That's funny.
Buffett, man. I'm sorry.
I mean,
So
if I
how
had
did
to
it
hear about a fucking
how did it all start
cheeseburger
for you,
one
Andy? How did you find yourself getting into music?
My dad was always a guitar player, so there was
That's
already,
right. I met him. He came to a practice.
there,
He's
there
a
was
nice
always
guy.
like acoustics laying around. Most of them I've broken over the years over frustration of trying to learn. Sorry, Dad. And really like the internet, like discovering guitar tabs,
Yeah.
or like when Blink Endless Day came out. I realized like my sister's boyfriend taught me how to play Damn It, and I was like, that wasn't that hard.
Right.
And then from there, I basically just learned from learning a bunch of cover songs over and over.
Yeah. You play with
Yeah.
your twin brother, don't you?
Yep.
Sometimes.
We actually,
was that from a young age?
I started playing before him, and then he started playing probably like 2 years after me, but he caught up real quick. He's just as good, just a little less handsome.
That's cool though. I used to play with my brother a ton when we were teenagers. We had a drum kit and a guitar amp in the house, and just used to annoy the neighbors to no end.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
probably jam with him over like time-wise more than anybody really.
Yeah, I believe it.
And then my dad always played guitar, and just loved playing guitar with whoever.
Yeah. Did your dad just play guitar around the house stuff, or was he like in a band or anything?
No,
or?
he just played around the house.
Yeah.
He claims he won a Bob Dylan Sounded Like contest once on the radio, but
Right.
I don't see it. I don't hear it.
What kind of music was he listening to? Or what was the
Clearly
early
Bob
influences?
Clash, Replacements, Bob Dylan,
Okay.
good music.
Yeah,
you like
stuff
the
that I
Clash,
like.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, good music. Yeah.
Damn.
And then, and he was always supportive, bought me a guitar when I was like in 7th grade, and just never stopped.
It was opposite of Joe's parents, though. He was secretly listening to Jimmy Buffett.
He keeps trying to say we should cover a Jimmy Buffett song, and now it makes sense.
Listen, I think it's ready for a punk version. I'm just saying.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
How fast can you say lettuce, tomato, kosher, pickle?
Let's tomato kosher pickle. Let's tomato kosher pickle. Let's tomato kosher pickle.
Perfect.
Not
Perfect.
that
There's
big.
the chorus. There's the chorus.
We got a song.
Get on the drums. Let's do this, man. We got shit here.
We're in a studio. I mean, shit.
Yeah, there you go. You could just put it down today. So, do you guys, when you're at home these days, do you practice your instrument like on your own? Do you still do that? Let's go with you, Matt.
Well, I mean, so lately, I just like splurged on a bunch of different crap that I have no idea how to work. I have like a mixer. I have all this stuff, and I have no idea how to use it.
Right.
So,
So it's been learning how to record, basically.
but then I splurged again. I bought this $1,000 acoustic thanks
Oh,
to,
wow.
and so I've just been sitting on there trying to
Breed
uh,
love.
the sound to the words that I write. You know?
Yeah, sure.
Because like it, I don't know. It's kind of confusing sometimes when like you put the words to a song that's already made.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have to like work off that instead of like writing a poem first, kind of in a sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you know, we'll get into writing in a minute, but it's cool you're sitting at home playing guitar, and are you like sort of doing any kind of sort of? Are you sitting there and playing scales, or is it just working songs out and stuff?
Just working songs out. I mean, I have so many instruments over there that like it's crazy. I have like mandolin, trumpet. We have a sax. We have a bass. We have I have a banjo. I got my electric and acoustic.
Ready to
trumpet.
go. One man band.
Yeah.
Good
If I
stuff.
could only work all of them together, I'd figure that out.
Well, there's some people down here who do a pretty good job of it, you know. Like you got have you ever heard Ben Prestige?
No, I haven't.
He's a local cat who can just play everything, and he's wild to watch. He does blues and he does the whole feet drums thing. So the reason that Killbillies does it is because Micah, who was one of the original members of Killbillies, he'd been watching Ben Prestige, and that was it sort of became this. He got massively inspired by him.
Yeah.
And he was doing it just himself, when I met him, and then we decided to divvy up the responsibilities, and he ended up on the kick and I ended up on the snare. Now James does the kick, but that's a whole other level of like complicated, trying to sync up two guys doing the drums is bonkers.
I can't even get the double bass down, so or like I don't know, play anything with my feet and my hands, it doesn't go.
Gotcha. Well, just like anything, it's just a bunch of practice. And talking about practice, Joe, do you still practice the guitar at home, would you say?
Yeah, all the time.
What kind of stuff are you practicing?
It kind of depends on what's coming up.
Yeah.
Like the past month and a half, I've just been playing pretty much straight jacket songs because we're recording our album, and just had to make sure everything was good and tight. We're gonna put it on tape. You can't change it anymore after that.
No, absolutely.
But,
do you do any kind of exercises or anything like that? Are you doing sort of like any sort? The reason I ask is because the way that I've been doing it lately is I've been trying to sort of expand my range a little bit with guitar. So I've been doing a lot of kind of shreddy type exercises. I'll sit there and do all the arpeggios and the sweeps and stuff like that. That's definitely stuff I'm working on. You do anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. You got to keep adding tools to the arsenal. But what's the last thing? I've been trying to work on tapping lately.
Right. Yeah.
That's the main. When I'm just practicing to practice is tapping as of late. But like when I do normal exercises every day.
Yeah, that's
before
great.
I'm gonna like practice straight jacket songs or.
Where are you finding that kind of thing? Is it kind of? I know most of the stuff that I find is on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, yeah. YouTube, 100%.
Yeah, there's just a ton of great stuff on there.
Yeah, and you can get 10 different opinions on the perfect way to do something in an hour. So
yeah, exactly.
You can't find that.
I bought a
anywhere
few
else.
books just because I don't know, maybe out of a certain nostalgia that it's nice to have a physical thing. But in reality, the best things I've found have been on YouTube. The things that I've really used a lot, and I'm stuck on this sweeping part of it at the moment. I can do tapping a bit, but right now I'm like determined to vanquish sweeping. So that's where
so hard.
I can't do it.
It's tricky. I can't do it either, and I've been practicing it for like years. I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. Yeah, Andy, do you practice your guitar at home?
I guess kind of like Joe. It depends what's coming up. Like I guess I don't only practice scales. I kind of sit around and finger pick my ukulele a lot.
Right.
But I guess even just like whether it's uke, bass, guitar, just playing at all is practice, at least in some way,
Yeah. What about like I know you're quite a proficient finger picker. Is that how did you find yourself getting into that? Was it just kind of trying to do it, or is there anyone that you were looking towards to kind of improve it?
It's just kind of random. I feel like it just happened sitting on the couch, couldn't find my pick, and just started messing around, and then started doing that cover band Slim Pickens acoustic duo, and then a lot of it was like finger picking stuff. So I just try to work hard to get better at it over the past couple years.
Sure.
And now it's like when I grab my guitar, that's pretty much what I do.
With me, it was when I met. I mean, I'd already did a little bit of finger picking, but when I met Micah, he sort of introduced me to all these great finger picking people like Bill Brunzi and Merle Travis and all these kind of people who really sort of pioneered that sort of early 20th century finger picking country blues style, and that was huge for me. You know, I spent years trying to practice that, and just recently there's this guy Steve Tilston who actually I'm friends with his son Joe Tilston. He's in a UK ska punk band called Random Hand, and which you probably dig. Actually, they're crazy. They're awesome.
Yeah, show us. I was
yeah. But so Joe's dad, Steve Tilston, he was. Have you ever heard of a guy called Nick Drake? He's
The guy from Tiger Army?
No,
That's Nick Cave.
He's dead now. He's also cool, but So Nick Drake is this kind of like semi-legendary kind of cult figure, British folk finger picking guy, and Steve Tilston was sort of part of that era of guys. He never got as famous as that, but he is just so awesome. He does all that kind of syncopated, almost like you know how the like like the like ragtime type type of
it's like
syncopated
piano versus
stuff.
piano.
Yeah.
But it's stuff's so fun because like finger picking, I'll be doing it and just like I won't even trying to be like trying to add stuff. You just do it one day all of a sudden, and then that's what you do for that part, and then it just like builds.
Can you do paradiddles?
That's a drum thing.
No, you can
know
do
damn well I can't
paradiddles.
keep time.
You can do paradiddles on a banjo.
Oh, I can play banjo a little bit.
That's cool. I didn't know you could do paradiddles on a banjo.
Yeah, it sucks. It's hard.
Very
I can't do it.
interesting.
I just wanted to see if one of you guys could
I
teach
think you
me.
mean on the snare drum part.
James, so there's this guy called Banjo Ben Clark, right, who is like the king of banjo teachers online, and James is going to go to one of his he does clinics, you know.
Yeah.
And but that's where James is getting all of his information. So if you that's definitely, you know, if you're looking for somewhere to kind of get your banjo better.
Oh, for sure.
Banjo Ben is the guy, not me. Different
Banjo Ben.
Different banjo band.
I'm gonna find this banjo
I
Ben.
feel like everyone you've name dropped is named Ben. That's suspicious.
That's
They're all
hilarious.
Ben. He just has multiple
It's
personalities.
like you walk into his clinic, it's like Ben in a like one of those hat and mustaches. Doing an American accent, you're like, what the fuck?
Hang on a second. That's
The
why I shaved
the
my beard,
multiverse
because
of
it's more of it's more of a blank canvas. You know, I can get away with more. So, you're recording this album, which is pretty exciting. Does the band have a writing process? And it's kind of up to you guys to decide who wants to answer that one.
Do we have a
Definitely
writing
these
process?
guys.
What is our writing process?
I'm new, so that's probably a joke question.
Joe?
How have you been? How's the songs been coming
it
together?
usually starts with the music.
Right.
We usually start with a guitar riff. Me and the drummer Brett, we're in like every band that we play in together, so
Really
him and I
open.
are pretty locked in that regard. So it usually starts with, you know, a couple guitar riffs. We put drums to it, then we show it to Andy and Johnny and Matt here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's when you put all the sauce on it. That's when you have an extra riff, an extra harmony that somebody else brings in, and
Yeah.
Matt will
Yeah.
take it home, throw some lyrics on it, and then a couple weeks later we got a song.
I'll tell you what, they make it really freaking easy for me.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. Like,
Yeah, it
it's-
definitely seems like it's music first. Even
Right.
like Brett, like he's written some of the guitar.
Oh yeah,
And I think he
100%.
wrote one of our new songs, which won't be on the album, but I think it's the best guitar riff I've ever heard in my life.
Oh wow.
It's like simple, but it's
Just
like
nails it.
it's one of those things like I would have never thought of that.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's,
like it was
it's
right there.
very aggravating.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense theoretically, like mathematically, so it's like this shouldn't sound good, but it does.
No, it's not. That's not it. It's the fact that the fucking drummer wrote it. Again.
Again.
He's written a couple riffs that are like, bro, what are you on, man? That's my job.
This is my third band with Brett, and I've never seen him play guitar, so that's allegedly. Just kidding.
Oh, it's
He'll
all-
just show up in my apartment and be like, well, I was working on this, and he'll play these riffs, and it's like,
Man, he's
Put
buying
the-
he's
put
buying
that
those
shit-
riffs from somebody and
He's
breaking
on
it.
Fiverr.
He's on Fiverr.
Just show
buying
me how to
riffs.
kind of play it. Let me go fuck with this guy. But no, he writes. Everybody's got riffs in the song. I mean, in
That's
the
cool.
songs.
Yeah.
Nice
Matt
group
wrote
effort.
our first song,
Oh,
What
yeah.
was the first song?
"Bomb the Hill."
Yeah.
That was our first,
right.
our first one.
So
That was when I was supposed to play guitar in the band, and I realized how much slower I was than everyone else.
right. It's a pretty
Just
pacey
gonna
band.
sing.
You
Yeah.
know, like it's punk rock, but I guess it's kind of hardcore. You know, it almost.
Yeah, it definitely has
you
like a
know?
weird feel. It's not like a punk like.
It's
It's,
like
not. It's not what I would have thought of.
Yeah.
In a good way. Like.
Well, it's as fast as punk can get before it becomes hardcore. Maybe. I don't
Yeah, it's like a mutt. It's like it's right there on the borderline of like.
Yeah.
And
a
also-
little bit more palm muting, and I don't think we could be punk rock anymore.
Yeah.
We're right there. We're right there.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's sick. I've been listening to it, and it's badass.
And
How many songs are going to be on the album? You think roughly?
47.
Excellent.
Why is it always
It's a little-
47?
Little
It's
off.
the magic number.
That's like the
11,
number
right?
everyone
11?
goes to.
11, yeah, 11.
Yeah, 11.
11 tunes. Got it.
With two covers.
We're not gonna put the covers on the
Yeah.
album, but we recorded them. We'll probably just throw them out social media sometime.
Yeah.
So you're releasing, you're doing 11 songs. You're gonna release it as just as an album, or are you gonna put singles out first or anything like
I
that?
think we're gonna just release it as an album.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
So like online, or you're
Yeah.
gonna print it?
yeah, we're gonna do like probably a little release show once we figure out when our album's gonna get done.
Something small
mixing
like
and
the Hard
mastering.
Rock.
No, I mean
Wembley,
Live
probably.
Nation's
Coliseum.
been hitting me up,
St.
but
Vitus or something.
I just don't have. We just don't really have time to like go to Coral Sky and.
I know.
Right,
it's
right.
just
Who does,
exhausting.
man?
We don't want to start a
does?
riot.
I just, we
does?
just, you know.
I don't know. Their bathrooms weren't so.
They're not up to propaganda bathroom
I just didn't like the
standards.
green room. I didn't like the green room. It just, they didn't
I mean,
have,
for
We
starters,
didn't have a
for
window.
starters, it wasn't green.
they didn't have any M&Ms,
I know.
brown or otherwise.
So, yeah, where are you recording said album? Have you decided that yet?
We recorded the drums at the drummer's house where we jam,
Cool.
and the guitars were all done in my office.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
It's
You
all
can-
DI.
yeah,
Sounds damn good too.
that's
And it's
excellent.
not, all we have to do now is vocals, and it's already sounding like pretty solid.
Working on it.
Cool. Are you planning on doing the vocals the same way in your office?
We're doing the vocals at the drummer's house again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
because
just got lucky in that the room that we jam in is dead.
right.
Well,
It's just-
Johnny's
it's
really
very
good
quiet.
at
That's
what he
great.
does too.
Oh,
So it's like
absolutely,
mix
absolutely.
between the room being like that dead and Johnny is.
Yeah, Joe's been doing the tracking, and then Johnny's gonna be doing the mixing. So like between
Okay.
them, they both
We
know
got a
what's up
plan.
on the computer.
Yeah, I mean, so many people do it that way, and it's a totally, feasible way of doing things. I think going to a studio is nice because you can kind of just play the thing, and then you can hold your hands up and be like, all right, well, you do it, which
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
certain amount of when you're too close to something, you can overthink it. But that being said, both No Name Records, we mixed, and we recorded almost all of it in that tiny room in the back of my house. So
Right.
it's just that's how so many people do it, and it works just fine. We sent our drums to Power Station, so we recorded them at home, then we sent them there, and we just had them put them through all of their amazing equipment, basically.
Give them that juice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the drums sound awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we did with our drums too. We did the drums first with a scratch track, and then we mixed those by themselves.
Right.
So
yeah.
everything else, I mean,
Yeah, because if you're layering on top of that solid foundation, that you at that point you're relatively safe. It's the drums that are the hardest for sure to
Yeah.
get exactly right.
Mhm. we kind of, we've done a couple different, my other band, we've done Mercy EPs, we've done a couple of them, we've done a Masticator EP. We've recorded a lot
Yeah.
in that little room, just recording drums, guitars, all kinds of stuff. We're getting it dialed in pretty good there.
I'll
But,
tell you,
there's
the home
Excellent.
studio though has come a long way. It's come a long way.
sure.
You're
I
not
mean,
kidding.
there's
Not kidding.
there was that time way back in the day, Elvis time or whatever, where you can pay whatever it was, $1 or something, and walk into a studio like a Sun Studio or whatever, and have them record something, and it was record quality, and then fast forward a little bit of time, and there was this pretty good amount of time where it was inaccessible. I mean, you had to be in a band and be on a label and whatever to get any kind of reasonable studio time that wasn't just, that wasn't super expensive if you were doing it on your own dime. And then now all of a sudden, between the internet and the home studio equipment and everything, like everything's just so accessible.
Just like what you said about the drums, like the ability to like send tracks back and forth. Like it doesn't have to be all done in one place. Like you could be like this, the guitar came out of this like studio, and then the drums out of this studio, and like sent the drums to get mixed here, it got mastered there, and it just all comes together.
Exactly. Right now, you know, I'm sending tracks to my friend Ollie, and I'm doing some stuff with Sonic Boom 6 again, and I'm doing all these different things, and it's just pinging back and forth from my home studio.
Dude, it's epic, and it's on the other side of the world. It's crazy.
It's just wild. It's microphones. The technology in microphones has gotten so good that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to, you know, get a good microphone well enough that a good computer program can't clean it up.
Absolutely. And I remember when I was at university.
Power? Wow.
I remember when I was at university, I was at school with a lot of people who were doing a slightly different course than me, and they were all their projects were all making plugins. You know, it was right when plugins were just becoming huge, but the ones you could get, they kind of worked, but not so great, and I feel like just in the last few years, all of that software has just reached this level where it's almost indistinguishable at this point. You know, I mean, I would say that in a lot of cases it is indistinguishable from, like, you know, miking up any kind of.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
like
you have a lot of old school players that swear by tube amps and swear by, you know, by their regular amps and stuff, and they refuse to use any kind of modelers and everything. But I've been seeing more and more people online. I mean, you know, I have hundreds of friends on Facebook that are musicians, and I've been seeing more and more of these old school guys that swear by an amp, or especially swear by a tube amp, that are like, oh, you know, I tried this Headrush modeler, and holy crap!
Joe uses a Headrush, the nice ones.
But that's what I'm saying.
When I first saw it, I never seen one before.
Wanted
It's
those
insane.
tube amps, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, a lot of these modelers are changing minds, man. Changing minds of stubborn people that are like, no, it's not going to sound the same. And, you know, does it sound exactly the same? I mean, for all intents and purposes, probably. Maybe if you're a real diehard, you know, if you're real diehard and loyal to your original amp or whatever, then maybe you can tell a slight difference. But listen, at the end of the day, you put it on the album. Is any fan going to call you out and go, "Hey, you didn't use a real amp"? Bullshit.
It's
not going to happen.
0.0% chance that on an album anybody could tell.
That's what I'm saying.
If they say they can,
well, and especially after it goes through all the software and the plugins and everything else.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to be able
a
to
finished
tell.
product, mastered and everything, you cannot tell the difference.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe live you can, because volume.
But
a
even
4x12
live,
is gonna push a
even
bunch
live,
more
I would
air.
venture to say that there's a really, really fine difference between
for
one
sure.
and the other.
I agree.
Not enough. I think it's negligible. I mean, you know, there's the purist out there that's going to argue with me on this, you know, and I'm not going to disagree with it. It's a matter of opinion. But I honestly, even live, I would beg to differ if there was any actual you know, difference to the audience.
That's the only time I would even entertain somebody trying to convince me that they can tell the difference is in a live setting.
Yeah.
If you try and tell me a recorded, you can tell you're lying.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that, quite frankly. I mean, that being said, I still mic up my Marshall, but it's nostalgia. I just like doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I have my 4x12 and an Egnator 120 watt on top.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to feel your knees shake when you play your guitar.
Yeah.
And you don't want to buy, you know, 5 12-inch flat response for your monitor or modeling pedal.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's at some point I'm gonna probably make the switch, but you know, it's really gonna be when a project needs it, because right now with Killbillies I don't even use an amp, so I got one of those Jazzmaster Acoustasonics, and I just put it on my pedal board, and then
sounds
it just goes,
amazing.
It does sound amazing.
Dude, those
sounds
things
amazing.
Dude, that sounds so good.
So ridiculous.
It really is
wanna
like
hear
perfect for Killbillies too, because then you get like that, like you can really hear every note you play. Like, as soon as I got that, I was like,
Yeah, it has a little bit of bite to
that shit
it
you
when
can
it
tell the
needs to.
difference.
Yeah.
That thing's
It's nice
cool.
when you get a nice piece of gear that just you're like, oh,
Spites.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to. We're going to Memphis in July to record the next Kill Billy's album. And
Actually,
Nice.
Two Sun Studios.
It's Two
is
Sun
pretty fun.
Studios, yeah.
That's
I mean,
right.
Where's
yeah.
the studio
Speaking of
at?
which,
Oh, yeah, you
we
told me
could do
that.
it at home, but
Dude, right? Sometimes it's like,
sometimes you just
Just for
want
the
to do
story.
it, you know. But yeah, we're going to Sun Studios to record. I can't wait to hear the guitar on the album. It's gonna sound
that's
sick.
amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna sound really good. I'm excited.
Oh my God, some
Absolutely.
pictures. Wait,
So-
let me come.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask you a question about just punk in general, and like, what does it mean to you? Just the scene, the culture of it, and how has it sort of like changed your life? I'll send that one over to Matt.
So I mean, I could start from. I'll start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I mean, so back in the good old days, we grew up in. I grew up in a place
18?
called Lockheed.
I was gonna say, you're like,
honestly, man, it was around then when I didn't have to worry about much of
Four
anything.
score
you know?
in 2017.
No, when you didn't have to worry about bills and stuff.
Sure,
you know?
yeah.
So back in the good old days, it was out in Loxahatchee. I grew up over there, some redneck area or whatever. But there was this small group of skateboarders, and like vest wearing punk rock, no good, no one wanted us at their parties and whatever.
Right.
And it was great. I loved it. And
Yeah.
every second of it, we'd have like just like mud parties, like it was like mud pits and like all just crazy shit would happen out there.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine that brought me up into like going to shows like out in Loxahatchee was Brian Marshall.
Right.
He played in Kill by Florida. He used to be
Yeah.
their drummer,
Right.
and then he moved to Ohio. Hey, Brian.
Sounds right.
And Lisa, congratulations, because they're pregnant. You know, they're
Oh,
about to
that's
have a
lovely.
kid. Anyways, but yeah, so he had this band called Ass Piss.
Yeah.
Or no, there was a band called Ass Piss.
I played with them.
You played with them?
Dude, I remember that
Not
band.
in the band, but I played a show with them one time.
Yeah.
I think I played with them.
I forget who was in the
Probably
band
when you were
because there's so
skateboarding.
many different people in the band at different times, but whatever. They all like played in this band called Ass Piss, and it was just like once I was there at that show or that house party where we destroyed a house, and like all this crazy shit happened, I was like hooked. Like, that was, like,
Yeah.
it was like punk rock for me for forever, and then like G.G. Allen, and then Hank the Third came about,
Right.
and
Yeah, it's it's
I
an
don't know, and
identity of
along
sorts,
with-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though punk rock even though punk has this kind of thing where sort of anything allowed, and it's sort of like originally was like an art movement. I mean, these days it's, let's be honest, it's like a club. You're like
Yeah.
part of a crew with it.
like at the same time, it came along with skateboarding so like cleanly like throughout my, because like I was skateboarding a lot more before I like started getting in like any sort of music.
Yeah.
I used to just listen to everything, and then when it strictly became punk, it was like after I met Brian. But skateboarding was already there, so it's like the whole world came together for me.
Yeah, cool.
And then I don't know, I filmed some skate video parts, and then I don't know, it went all downhill from there.
That's good stuff.
But it's a blessing for sure. I love
Yeah,
it.
I know, Joe. You're sort of a metaler as well, but like, have you got any sort of any pearls of wisdom on your journey with punk? Like, how is it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I know Andy does. Tell me about because you.
I feel like Joe was like, I could do this better than them, so he just started playing punk. And he was
Well,
right.
no, like,
I was
I
kidding.
didn't skate. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even get into punk until I was like 24, and it's because I
Right.
stole a bunch of music from my buddy and stuck it on my iPod
Right. And
and was like just listening to some.
What was the
shuffled
first
crap.
band?
It was NoFX, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, I forget the first song I heard, but like I remember distinctly. I'm playing video games on my computer, like you do,
Yeah.
and this NoFX comes on, and I'm like, "What is this? This makes me happy."
Yeah.
This makes me very. And then
It
you
must
just
have
go
been so
down
long
this
in Swallow
spiral, and
Shoes.
you're like, it was something off Pump Up the Volume. It was definitely off Pump Up the
Oh,
Volume.
nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, and then you just go down that rabbit hole, and then you've been listening to punk for 15 years.
Yeah. Sure thing. Yeah, Andy, didn't you get on stage with Green Day one time when you were little?
I did.
Yeah.
On the eve of my 16th birthday.
Let's hear about that.
I'm pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I peaked until I joined No Name. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I had like a lawn ticket, snuck up into the seats, and I snuck up into the pit area. And they always pull a kid up on stage to play Knowledge by Up Ivy. And I already knew that, so I wore my Up Ivy shirt.
Oh, there you go.
And I climbed on my girlfriend's face so I can be seen. And it worked. And then I got pulled on stage. Billy Joe kissed me on the lips. Then I was like,
oh, wow.
Oh, sweet. I thought I was gay this whole time, but I'm not. I'm just kidding. And then we played the song. Luckily, it was before YouTube, because in my memory, I did a good job. But if I actually saw it, I'd be like, yeesh.
Right,
Sure.
yeah. Didn't you get a guitar out of that or something?
He gave me the guitar.
No shit.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a Mexican Strat. Super nice. I used it
You
for...
still have it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's literally the humbucker is held together by tape right now.
Did you sign it?
I brought it on tour. No. I brought it on every tour I ever went on for years and years and beat that thing into the ground. Like, I would bet money that anyone else who's gotten a guitar from Billy Joe hasn't fucked it up as much as I have. But by using it, not by
I think he
fucking
would
it up.
appreciate that on the
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, man. That way better to be
Yeah.
used than hung up on a wall
So sick.
somewhere, man.
For sure, yeah. I
I
used
didn't know
it
that.
big time. But I'm thinking about getting a little fixed up so I can start using it again.
So have you been on tour a lot?
No, I wouldn't say a lot. Like, the longest one I did was 2.5 months, and I think...
Who was that with?
Routine Schema, the punk band.
Right.
We toured the whole country, like, for 2.5 months, and we did another one, like, half of the country, and then like a bunch of, like, 2-3 weeks ones just
Cool.
all over. But those were the days.
Yeah, man. And so what I know it's a bit of a kind of overwhelming question, but and a little bit general, but what has punk meant to you in your life, would you say?
I feel like so in like 3rd, 4th grade when like Dookie came out on cassette, because I'm old. I love Longview Basket Case, and I didn't realize that was even like, you know, a punk band, pop punk, whatever, power pop, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, one band ever wrote songs I like.
Right.
And then there's probably like 3 years where I just listened to Dookie from like 4th grade to like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then I heard like my sister showed me Blink-182, like Dude Ranch, Animal of the State. And then from there, Less Than Jake, No Effects. And then just like down the Fat Records, Epitaph, Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
And then I realized that there's a million good bands,
Religion.
just as good as Green Day.
Yeah, there's tons, absolutely, yeah. I got into punk kind of the same as Joe, quite late. I think I was like 20, 21, and it was because I'd moved to Manchester to go to university, and I was studying music, and my best friend from when I was like 13 years old was at the same uni as me, and he was a trombone player, and he was in this ska punk band with some guys from Manchester called Grimace, which later ended up turning into Sonic Boom 6. And then he was like, oh, you want to come and join the horn section? So I ended up joining on sax, and got a very sort of an unbelievably fast education. Like, I kind of had to do a lot of homework kind of thing.
Nice.
And you know, just even to hang with these people, even to talk to them, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I did that, and then I ended up kind of wiggling my way from sax to vocals and guitar, and then sort of, you know, that was that. But yeah, it was before that for me. It was like, you know, I was just really into drum and bass, you know, and ecstasy.
That was college.
Yeah. That was what I was about at that time.
That's because there was this like boom of like all this punk rock, and so like everyone just like learned all these like bands that just came up, you know, like, and so it's like everyone was just learning everything at once, you know. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
it was a boom. Like everyone was like always just learning a new punk band. Like, you hear this guy, you hear this band.
Yep, and then like
Yeah, the third wave
Few of them made it.
was pretty much it was different
The
in
internet was
England.
crazy.
It wasn't the third wave of ska
yeah.
was different in England than it was of like in the US in a way.
It's because you
It-
left. I'm just kidding.
It didn't necessarily sort of. I don't know. We had a lot of like more kind of ska core bands, like the just heavier ones, and
Like
stuff.
Against All Authority, bands like that.
Yeah, yeah. We had a bunch of those types of bands. I don't know. We had sort of regular ska punk bands too. And all of my most of my knowledge on this is sort of ska punk related. You know, I'm a big punk rock fan too, but I was in a ska punk band for a really long time. So that's what I
Yeah,
know
for
about.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, I think now might be a good time to listen to a tune that you've written. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
All right.
Acapella.
Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Please don't kill my family. She says it's not up to me. She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker. She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker. Please don't kill my family. She says it's not up to me. She says that she's hungry. She's hungry. That I look so tasty. Ow! She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker. She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker. She's a skinwalker. She will kill me and my family. She's a skinwalker. She will kill me and my family. She's a skinwalker. She will kill me and my family. She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker. She's a skinwalker. My late night stalker.
561 Music is brought to you by Handlebars Bar and Grill. It's a biker bar in Tequesta, and if you don't know where Tequesta is, it is literally just right on the top of Jupiter there. If you're driving north out of Jupiter on US 1, you will see a little yellow building, and it's a biker bar. And it used to be run by this guy called Victor, and used to be called Judy's, and is notorious in the area for being a fun, crazy, rowdy biker bar. These days, it's a little more chill. Burnsy does a great job with the food in there. My father-in-law took it over and revamped the place, and he's done a great job of it. Now, the village of Tequesta is really being a thorn in our side, and we're having problems with them not allowing us to do music at the moment. So if anyone knows anyone who can help us with that, please don't hesitate to get in touch, because it is ridiculous, because we were never making an obnoxious amount of noise. So we would love some help in that regard. I think we might still be going ahead with the jam, but the bike night on the second Thursday of every month isn't happening this month, because otherwise we will be fined the kind of money that only very rich people can afford. So we can't do that. You know, there's some bars in Jupiter that can flout that kind of thing because they have, you know, they're independently wealthy. That's not the case with us. We are a local business, and just trying to keep it going, and it's a real shame that we can't do the music at the moment. That being said, it's still a lot of fun. You should head down there, bring your bike. It's right on the side of the road. You can just pull up, and it's a great little stop off if you're, you know, doing a day ride on on a weekend or something like that. It's cool. And you know, it's not just for bikers, of course, and anyone can go there. Food's great, the beer's great. Head on down to Handlebars Bar and Grill. Now, the other sponsor we have is Oasis Route Kava Bar. This is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd. Jim, the guy who runs it, is a real cool guy, and he is a big supporter of the podcast, and we can't thank him enough for sponsoring it. He pretty much tells everyone who goes in there to listen to the podcast and subscribe to it. So he's got our back, and he's a great guy. So if you don't know anything about Kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and mix with water, and it's just a way of kind of hanging out. If you don't drink, it's quite a fun thing you can go and do. Now, if you do drink, it's a fun thing you can go and do. It's just it's another kind of social thing that's available to you out there. Now, it's a relatively new concept in this country. It's obviously been around for thousands of years in Polynesia, but in this country, it's relatively new. It's been around for, I don't know, probably 15 years, something like that. There's a lot of ones down here that are almost like a club vibe, but Oasis Route is more like a cafe. It has a nice sort of polished wooden bar, and it's kind of bright and breezy in there, and it's a little bit of a sort of social club, social environment. So if that sounds interesting to you, you should go and check out Oasis Route Kava Bar on Indiantown Rd. All right, so we were just listening to your song Skinwalker. Could you tell us a little bit about it? Like, what did you write the lyrics about?
So Skinwalker is about a woman, a skinwalker.
Okay.
You think she's a woman, but
Okay.
so you go on a date with a girl,
Yeah.
woman, and she seems all nice or whatever, and then she turns out to be a skinwalker, which is a Navajo term for this monster that will eat you.
Okay, gotcha.
Just I'll leave it there. I can go deep with it, but this monster that'll eat you.
That's what he told the Skinwalker.
Yeah. And it's so the whole song you just like trying to escape her grasp,
Okay, gotcha.
and you can't, and at the end you're dead.
So it's in the grand tradition of dudes
Oh, yeah.
writing songs about women that they've had difficult situations with.
Yep, nail on the head. Man.
Gotcha. I will admit to having written a few of those myself.
Yeah, I just tried to make it as I always wanted to write a song about a skinwalker too.
It's a cool title.
That
isn't it?
Navajo tribe stuff has always been interesting to me. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that was my perfect opportunity.
We're gonna do an acoustic version about me called Daywalker.
There you go.
Daywalker.
Perfect. So you guys are in some other projects. Could you, Joe? Could you tell us a little bit about Mercer and Masticator?
Well, MRSA is a death metal band. We write all of our songs about horror movies.
Right. Cool.
So we just got an infinite amounts of source material.
Kind of digging that.
Been around for a few years. I mean, we got a show on the 25th.
Yeah. Cool.
We're playing.
Come check it out.
Headlining it down at O'Malley's.
Nice, man.
Masticator, another death metal band. Masticator's been around for years and years in the scene. The singer, Mike, he started Masticator when he was like 15.
Yeah.
So it's been around for like 17, 18 years now. I don't know how old the guy is, but it's been around forever.
We had his fiance Morgan on here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she came and did the podcast a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know Mike super well, but what with social media being what it is, I almost feel like I do.
Yeah.
They're getting married.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that exciting? Yeah.
Congrats if you see this, guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
She's in another band now. Did you see that?
Yeah.
she
Can you remember what they called
She's
it?
killing it, man.
I don't. But it was
Emasculator.
It was an all-female band. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the perfect name.
That's
amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
They're gonna be famous.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
I'd say
famous.
that's a.
I heard a little sample of their track.
Good stuff, huh?
It's brutal. There is zero fuck around.
Oh,
I'm just excited
fantastic.
because it's another band for us to get on the podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Squeeze your way in there, bud.
I can't. I'm not.
I mean,
have
you
too
know,
much
shave the
materials.
beard.
And a penis.
You never know.
Oh,
I
that
forgot about the.
doesn't stop people these days. So
I do look good in a dress. I'm just saying.
I can see it. I can see it.
I can too.
I'm sure
I want to
you
see
have
it.
seen it.
That's why Mike Ravers quit.
I look
So-
better in a dress.
Yeah, Andy, you're in a few projects too. How long have you been playing with the Muggles?
3 years now.
Okay.
And we just added some new members. Chris, the drummer of Sons of a Tradesman, he's amazing.
Yeah, neat.
Steven Spencer, who runs Melody Avenue, also amazing.
Cool.
And we've been working on a new album for like pretty much since I joined the band.
Okay.
And we're going to record in August.
Awesome.
And it's going to be the most pirate, ridiculous, fucking amazing record anyone's ever heard.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Steven
For
Spencer,
pirates.
man.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
That guy does he does websites and stuff.
Yeah,
And
he's like
I was
a
at
genius.
I was at an art gallery for a couple of years, Habitat Galleries, and he was I guess the guy that they had hired to create the website at one point, and he was the one maintaining it. And I met the guy a couple of times while I was there. He would come in and we would work out on some details on the project on the website and stuff like that. I had absolutely zero idea. Like I had no idea at all that the guy was musical or in a band or owned Melody Avenue or anything.
Yeah,
And
he's a humble dude.
Are we
Well,
talking about
he's-
Spence?
Yeah, he's full of surprises.
Oh my
I mean,
It's
I'm
crazy. And then fast forward a couple of years, I'm no longer at the gallery. We're past COVID and all that stuff, and the shutdowns and all that stuff. And I we're friends on Facebook, and I start seeing all these Melody, and I didn't realize it was the same guy.
Yeah, right?
And then I finally put two and two together one day, and I was like, holy crap! Like this guy, it's so
Spencer's
so
full of
funny,
surprises.
man. Yeah.
Spence is the fucking man.
And
dude.
poor Spence, to his credit, and Ben can relate to this because he played it's probably like 3 or 4 months ago, his first show with us, and we all set up, and then we both realized, he realized that he was next to me, which is, Ben is a great place to be on stage.
Well, if you don't mind fielding the odd kiss, it's okay.
Oh, that's from Matt's side. Mine's the finger in the ass.
So,
I'm uncomfortable.
That's why me and Joe are on opposite sides in straight jackets.
This is where Joe's like, I need an adult. Hello,
Mom.
what's going on with
Jesus.
Pop Disasters? What's that about?
So me and my buddies and Spread the Dub and my twin brother and Ryan Jacola from Rude Huckers, which I'm also in with him, and I played with him my whole life too, just like my brother. We started doing a Blink cover band. We were just going to make it a one-off for fun, but then we were starting to get more shows. We did a Green Day Blink cover set last week at 3rd and 3rd.
Yeah.
We'll be at Propaganda doing a Green Day cover set July 23rd, and
Cool.
then we'll also be doing the Barkback benefit.
Excellent. Yeah, Killbillies are doing that.
Yeah.
Bat
Dude,
as well.
yeah.
feed off that nostalgia wave that's
yeah.
going on.
We're just,
So you were talking earlier about like you were Green Day Dookie and stuff like that was like your first
Definitely.
first punk thing and everything. How's it feel to be playing that stuff now, but not because it's like, I mean, it's still popular obviously, but not because it's popular, but because it's nostalgic.
It's seriously so funny, and because now it's we're basically our dads in the 90s covering Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, you know?
It's that, isn't
it's,
it?
It's
Doesn't
literally
that feel
that. It's not, we're
weird?
not basically that. We're literally doing that.
100%.
But it's like, I don't know, everyone is,
I have a son that he just graduated high school, and he's a hell of a drummer. He's in a couple of bands now, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, dude. I mean, I was in with Justin in the Nirvana tribute for a number of years, and so I with Gavin, my son, I'm like constantly like, dude, we gotta start a Blink tribute. We gotta start a Blink tribute, and that's
You're in.
it's exactly what it is, though, man. It's like
I know, it's so
me
funny,
trying
too.
to it's me trying to like hang on to those last couple of
I know.
breaths of youth.
it's been nice, though, because it's not like something we should do this and try to do it. It just kind of happened. We're like, let's play a Blink show for
That's
fun.
what I was gonna ask. Do
And
you
then,
guys
like,
have to practice?
We practiced we played the Blink show. We practiced twice. The Green Day, we just played 22 Green Day songs. We practiced twice.
You just know them.
We already
That's
all
so
know the
cool.
songs, and then of course you go through and like, oh, there's little things here and there, but
Yeah.
everyone loves those songs, so everyone already knows them, so it's effortless, and it's like just for 100%.
Even if
just
you
for
don't
fun.
know how to play them, you know in your head how they go.
Exactly. At least one of the three of us
have
knows
a
it,
good,
so we're
a good
like,
idea
dude,
what the
yeah.
next note is, etc.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only max 5 chord songs. There's a couple weird little bridges that surprise me.
5 chords. Those are
Nimrod-
complicated.
Dude, it's literally 4 chords and another one. It's fucking ridiculous.
Would be 5.
Yeah, Hunter mentioned on some post that I put up about because I'm going to be writing some articles for magazine, and he wrote on there, oh, if you want to interview like the latest dad rock cover band, and I thought to myself like, oh God. Yeah, I guess it is that.
It is dad rock.
It's so weird. It's like, yeah, we've reached that point where the music we listen to is like classic rock.
My brother's literally your dad, and he's playing in the band, so it's dad rock.
So strange.
His daughter has a dance to Aliens Exist by Blink.
So
It's officially dad rock.
tell us a little bit about the Rude Hecklers.
Rude Hecklers, I play ukulele in that band. It's Ryan Cross and Spread the Dub, Ryan Jacola from many of bands, and Robert Ritchie, my friend from high school who I've known forever. We're, I guess hiatus, unspoken hiatus. Like,
Okay.
let's practice, and then we don't practice, but
Gotcha.
we'll maybe do some more stuff, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then I'm also in No Name Ska Band with you, as you know.
Yeah, and we've got our show coming up, haven't we? It's July 9th is our, it's our, Till We Meet Again.
Farewell to Matt Krug. And Paige show.
We'll do other shows, but, you know, for the time being, it's going to be our last show in a while, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll say it right now on this show so that it's on record. There is no doubt in my mind that if Matt's going to Vegas, that you guys are planning a show in Vegas.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure, like, it'll be,
That-
like,
it's
that'll
all-
probably be a real life show, 'cause probably
And
die
I-
afterwards. with
And
Matt
I'm not even
going
going to
out.
say it's like going to be like at some point in time. It'll happen sooner than you think.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
doubt in my
Yeah.
mind that I'm going
But
to get a
where?
phone call. Yeah, it'll be somewhere in Vegas.
In the
Trust
meantime,
me.
I've been teaching the new owner of Propaganda, Franco, great guy. He's been learning the songs. We're going to put the ski mask back on, say it's Matt. We're good to go. Just kidding.
Oh, man.
Matt.
Yeah, it's a weird thought of that band without Matt. I can't imagine it, to be honest.
Oh, never.
if you
Yeah.
wear the ski mask, that is, you could pull that off.
Dude, that was his initial idea. He's like, that way, wear the mask, Andy. So when we kick you out, nobody notices. I'm like, nobody noticed. Like, people think I'm Rocky still. We're like twinsies.
No, it's been a real treat being able to play all these shows with you over the last few years, and hopefully there'll be a few more in the future. We're just
Dude.
gonna have to see.
I've
Absolutely,
only
man.
played like a very handful of shows with you, man, and it's been this kid, dude. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's a good
Right when we
lad.
brought him on, it
Hey,
was
thanks,
so
guys.
easily right, Joe?
Joe's
Right
like,
when
"I
he
hate
came
you."
on, he's fluidly went in replaced. Not that we wanted to replace Rivers, but he went on his own path. But you know what I mean, right? It just went
Yes.
so
Joe's
easily.
Joe's just hanging it out to drive at. He's staring at you like, I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
can't wait to see the video.
I have no idea. No, I don't like him at all, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Andy, we love you.
Yeah, there's
So,
Thanks, man.
on the subject of band members, I think it's important to acknowledge the people that aren't here, and who are they, and what do they do?
Johnny Honeycutt plays bass.
Yeah.
He's also our sound guy. He's the one that's recorded our whole album.
Yeah,
He's an
He's
awesome
also-
backup singer, awesome bass player.
gotcha.
He's also a Mercer with me. And then the drummer's Brett Ackling. He's in.
Yeah.
He's the one that started this whole thing.
He's the one who writes the best guitar lines.
Can we cut this? Cut that part out. You can never see that.
Right. I gotta say, when they first started, I was in a band called the Clockouts before Straight Jacket, and then Brett called me like a year after Clockouts broke up. He's like, I started a new punk band. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, I want to, but I don't want to be unreliable and too busy, so no. And then a year later, I saw them, and then immediately I was like, dude, if anybody ever quits, and then 3 weeks later, bam,
Yeah, Mike quit. and
Mike Rivers' brakes got cut. I don't know what happened. No.
breaks guy.
You did threaten my life at the first show. You're like, yeah, man, nice to meet you. Be careful driving home. What?
That's great. So, what have you guys got coming up? What's it in the future for Straight Jacket?
We're playing with Wilhelm Scream and Brendan Kelly from the Lawrence Arms. at
Excellent.
Respectables.
Yeah.
July
July
1st.
That's been an awesome
July
show.
yeah, it is.
I'm super stoked. Brendan Kelly, Lawrence Arms.
That's gonna be
That's
my
my shit.
birthday show. My
Oh,
birthday's
really?
the 7th.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My
Fuck it.
birthday's in September. Can that be my birthday show too?
Yeah.
You're such
Your
a
birthday
The
show.
moment has passed.
No, it didn't pass yet.
Your birthday show is July 9th at Propaganda, the No Name Show.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
That's
I'll take-
your
I'll take
birthday
that
show.
one.
I'll give you my ski
Yeah,
ski
fuck,
mask
you
that has
take
been
that
in
one.
Justin's drum case for 3 years.
My birthday is September 11th. What do you guys want to do?
Shit.
You know that is
What
Rocky
did-
Rocker's birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah, Rocky Rocker's birthday is actually September 11th. And
Oh,
he
man.
gets mentioned on every single one of these somehow, some way, and here he is being mentioned again.
There you go.
Dude, to his credit.
Yeah,
He should be.
absolutely.
Yeah, all you had to do
Sorry,
was have
bud.
the same birthday as me.
So we almost got away with not mentioning him.
But-
Huh?
No, he came up
Damn.
before because.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
usually thinking
yeah.
about him, especially when I'm playing no-name shows and he's there. I'm like, Rocky, he knows that I don't know what I'm doing.
That's not true. You know what
We
you
had
I know.
Tyler Cohen Sanchez here a couple of weeks ago, and he brought Rocky with him, and the whole spiel was that he said that everybody mentions Rocky, but nobody has actually brought him. So he brought Rocky with him, and Rocky was back in the control booth.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the show, he just walked in, sat on the amp back there, didn't say a word, ate a sandwich, and then walked back out again.
People have only listened. You're like, is that him?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
unicorn.
And they've started their own podcast. So if anyone wants to hear Rocky talking at length about things, I think it's called the Divorced Goblins Club or something like that.
Oh, I watched the first one.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
him and
yeah.
Tyler, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It was good. It was
him
funny.
and Tyler and someone else,
And
right?
Alex.
Alex Mandel. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And there's also the Shake Cast, which is great.
Shakecast is fantastic. If
Yeah.
you got, and actually the Shakecast, those guys are doing a show. I want to say it's this weekend.
Right.
I'd have to double check that. I want to say it's this weekend. They're
Prosperity Brewing.
doing- Prosperity Brewing. You're absolutely right. They're
think
doing
it's
their
Saturday.
Shakecast podcast live right
Is
before
that
their
'cause you
show.
work
Yeah,
at a bar?
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're out and about this weekend, that would
And
be.
let's
good show
not
to
forget
check
to
out.
shout out Paul Robertson and
Drums and Rums.
Rums.
He just hit his 100th episode, so congratulations to him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And,
And Jams and Cocktails is taking a little break right now.
oh, it is?
Yeah, well, they
Okay.
just finished their season out, I think last week or the week before.
Okay.
So they're taking a little break,
Cool.
regroup, and come up with some new shenanigans for everyone.
And I know there's another podcast that gets recorded here called My Rum Diaries. There's quite a lot of podcasts these days. I mean, that's an understatement, but they're out there.
Is there anywhere to find your guys' first 560 podcasts?
We're keeping those for the Patreon.
Oh.
So,
For a mere $1 million.
I'll take it.
Is that the diamond tier?
so what have we got coming up this weekend? We
Nothing.
have-
I'm not here.
Oh yeah, you aren't here, right?
Yeah, you and James
so,
have
so
something.
James and I are playing at Propaganda. I think we're going to be on around sort of 11ish. It's a show. I'll tell you who's playing that real quick when I find it on my phone.
That's Friday night.
That is indeed Friday night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it is. Give me 1 second, and I will tell you. Is it the internet? Yes, here we go. So we got Freak Albatross, The Longest Haul, Dial Drive, and Killbillies
Yeah.
as a duo.
As a duo. Yeah, they waited till I went out of town to play Propaganda.
Yeah.
See how that works? You see how that works?
If you need a fill-in.
Dude,
Damn,
Andy's looking
bro.
Andy's looking
Body's
for
not even
work,
cold
man.
yet, man.
Check your break.
That's what River said.
He's like, you're leaving your bass behind. You're not taking your bass with you, right?
No, I use Justin's. Hi, Justin.
Then on Saturday we have the Square Grouper from 3 to 6, and then I'm playing solo at Island Root Kava Bar in Stewart. And then that's it. That's
Sunday?
That's on Saturday.
Saturday.
From 9 to midnight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 3 to 6 Square Grouper, 9 to midnight in Stewart at Island Root. So that's everything that's happening for us this weekend. And you got anything else you want to shout out before we close this up? You got any idea roughly when this album's going to come out?
mom.
Well, the album's coming out pretty soon. If that's a good enough time frame for you guys,
Sure.
it's good enough for us.
Fair enough.
Instruments are done. We're doing vocals now.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all up to me. So,
Excellent.
anyways, we're Wilhelm Scream, Kill by Florida. We love you guys. We love all the bands that we played with before. We love these guys for having us on, and come check us out and buy our fucking album.
Excellent.
I'm
Wait.
looking over there. There's a TV over there.
You're watching
It's
yourself?
fucking
Yeah.
Rocky.
I had no idea what to look at. All right, there's a camera over there.
Thank you
Camera
so
over
much for coming on. You guys
Camera
have been
over there.
charming and gentlemen, and I love you all. And
I
we
love
will
you too, man.
Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Oh, it's
man.
our
Yeah, for
pleasure.
real, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking blessing. It's the first time I'm doing this. So.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
Good
All right.
experience.
Yeah, wicked. All
Yeah,
right. well,
anybody listening or watching, make sure you like us on YouTube, subscribe, or like us on Facebook, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. It's 561 Music Podcast.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
561 Music Podcast on Instagram, 561 Music Podcast on YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, please.
And to take a page out of the Shakecast, send us money.
there is a we're not sure where it's
We
coming
need
from.
money.
There's a little bit of a weird hum going on. If you made it this far in the episode, sorry about the weird hum. Anyway, peace out. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take it by the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about.